All right, so for this video, I wanted to talk to you guys about this new development with this New Hampshire cuck because he's facing a lot of backlash for making this video on his YouTube channel the other day where he announced that he is not going to be helping out Bricc Baby with any of his legal fees. And he says that Bricc Baby needs to basically go find someone else to help him out with that. And the 16 is facing major backlash for this, and I want to explain. So No Jumper's entire fan base knows very clearly that Bricc Baby is the savior of No Jumper. Everyone remembers that when those Figmunity hosts left, when they quit on the 16 for his exploitations, the No Jumper was in the shitter. And then Bricc Baby comes along and just allows the 16 to completely goofify his entire existence, his entire reputation. And Bricc Baby thought that he had made a friend. He thought the 16 was his friend. He would have crashed for the 16. He said that I'll do whatever for you, Adam, cuz on the dead homies out. I do a murder for you, cuz on the dead homies. It's the brick, not the trick. I get to yanking this motherfucker for you, Adam. Just don't ever turn your back on me, cuz. What? You know what I mean? He just didn't want, he thought the 16 would have never done this. Oh, West Side Roll it, I'd do it. You know what I mean? He was really, he thought that the 16 was his actual friend. And then the 16 turns and does this, turns his back on him and says, I don't know, we'll do a bake sale or, this isn't a bake sale. You need to give him $50,000 immediately. We're getting Brian Steele. What? Bricc Baby's coming home. And so the 16 made millions of dollars probably off of Bricc Baby and his likeness. And this video that the 16 made that he's getting backlash for, I'd like to actually play you some clips of that under fair use of course. But I want to preface this by saying that this is in response to Bricc Baby. Apparently, Bricc Baby posted on his YouTube channel that he was unhappy with the fact that he felt like the 16 was ignoring his phone calls, that this cuck was on vacation, not picking up his phone, even though every time the 16 goes on vacation with his family, he's glued to his phone. He's arguing with Aaron the plumber.
Aaron the plumber. Fuck.
I mean, there's no way that he would have not seen Bricc Baby calling him. And so Bricc Baby calls him out for this.
Hey, what's that big old deal, man? It's the Brick, man. Why everybody laid up with their feet up out there vacationing, playing like they ain't got nothing for the kids, man. You already know we still keeping it strong. Nigga don't need nothing from...
This call is from a federal...
So the 16 catches wind of this and decides to make a response video, which we're going to go over right now.
Bricc Baby, I'm coming for you.
So this is going to be the first clip. This is Adam16 of Nashua addressing Bricc Baby, and he's basically going to say that Bricc Baby owes him money, so that's why he feels like he's off the hook for helping him. Listen to this.
So let me explain. I was in Turks and Caicos for approximately 1 week, and it came down the pipe while I was out there, pause, that Bricc Baby had some choice words for the 22 stir. When Bricc Baby came on the platform 2 years ago, pretty quickly, the feds ran up in his crib and raided him. He needed money to get out. Now, it's been discussed at length that I fronted him an amount of money, $5,000, so that he could get out the same day that he was picked up. I gave him the money, had to get him back out on the streets. I knew that he had potential.
All right, so the 16 basically thinks that we're all stupid and that we don't fully understand that the only reason he bailed Bricc Baby out of jail was because he needed him out on the streets so that he could profit from him. What? It's not because it was out of the kindness of his heart and that he was trying to help him. He was trying to help himself. He was trying to save his business. Bricc Baby was his only shot.
I gave him the money. Had to get him back out on the streets. I knew that he had potential. I knew that I could take him from being a marginal figure in the LA podcasting space to being one of, if not the most talked about person in the podcasting space, which is exactly what has happened over the course of the past couple of years. Never asked him for the money back.
Wow, so this is really disgusting because I think the 16 didn't ask for the money. So he's saying that I never asked for the money back because he wants a pat on the back for being so generous. When I think that the only reason he didn't ask for the money back is because he would look silly and greedy and shitty if he were to ask for the money back, because I mean, this clip alone has 1 million views. This is $5,000 right here. So just this video right here that on the clips channel is $5,000. So can he just have this clip, please? I mean, what do you want? It's just really crazy. So this next clip is going to be the 16 explaining that he's not really Bricc Baby's friend, that Bricc Baby's just his worker, and that Bricc Baby just thought that they were probably... You'll see.
I like to think that we actually became something like friends. We got closer and closer, spent time hanging out various times, went out to a lot of different parties and stuff.
Wow, so this New Hampshirean cuck is being very careful with his words. Did you guys catch that? He said, we became something like friends. So instead of saying we became friends, he's saying we became something like friends, not friends. We were never actual friends. Fuck Bricc Baby. That's what he's saying, I think. And so that's really despicable. And I saw it coming. This is why I warned Bricc Baby. We all warned Bricc Baby. I must have warned him 100 times. I told him, Bricc, you got to get out of there. This cuck's no good. And Bricc Baby would just say, no, cuz I ain't gonna say nothing bad about Adam16. That's my homeboy. I fuck with Adam. He would never turn his back on the dead homies. This is what Bricc Baby thought. That's crazy. What? And so this is where Adam16 says that Bricc Baby's pretty much fired and that he's not paying him his salary anymore while he's sitting in jail. His salary has been revoked. He is no longer being paid any money by No Jumper.
And then in addition to that, I heard it through the grapevine that Bricc basically thought that he was going to keep getting paid. That even though he's locked up and he's not able to contribute to the business by being on camera, that he thought that he was just so locked in that he was going to keep getting his monthly pay each month. I'm sorry. I know you guys all saw the No Jumper is going broke video. We are not in the best financial state right now. Me paying someone to be in federal prison doesn't really seem realistic.
So the 16 says that Bricc Baby's not contributing to No Jumper. They're not making any money off of him. He's not profitable when he is profitable. If you look right here, you'll see that No Jumper continues to exploit Bricc Baby's arrest. And just look at all these views. Look at the milkage, the revenue that's coming in. It's just really crazy that the 16 doesn't want to share any of it. And so if Bricc Baby's not profitable, I think that he should just get all the revenue from these videos that aren't making any money. Does that make sense? The 16 should actually give Bricc Baby a considerable amount of money.
My perspective is just, no, I'm not going to keep you on the payroll while you're locked up. That's just not, that's an abuse of the relationship that you think that we have. It's like there's probably a lot of people in your life that could help you out with money.
Okay, so I have very strong doubts that Bricc Baby suggested that the 16 was going to keep paying him his salary forever, you know, as long as he was incarcerated. I think that he just meant like while he's fighting his case. And I mean, while he's fighting his case, he's calling in, he's making content. I mean, what is going on? And what is his salary, really? Is that a lot of money? I can't imagine the 16 paying Bricc Baby very much money for 1 day a week on a pod. The 16 just doesn't want to give Bricc anything, it seems like. What a scoundrel. What a soft, doughy little scoundrel.
You've already worked up a significant debt with me. It takes a lot of nerve to make YouTube videos basically throwing shade at me when realistically I'm probably the person who showed you the most love.
So this is the part of the video where he says that they're going to be doing a fundraiser selling t-shirts for Bricc Baby. Look at this shit.
We do have plans. We've got some free Bricc Baby shirts that we're going to be dropping in the very near future. The proceeds from that are going to him and his family. And in addition to that, we do have a live stream coming up in the very near future, probably by the end of this week. And in that live stream, we are going to be taking all of the donations. Friday is looking like it might be the day. Friday we might be doing this. All the donations are going to be going to Bricc Baby to help him out. That being said, I don't really appreciate some of this weird backstabby type of stuff. You know, honestly, it's just, it leaves a bad taste in my mouth.
Wow. Okay. So keep in mind, he does not want people to call him a backstabber. He doesn't want people to understand what he is. And so he just continues to talk about how great he is and how everyone owes him and how Bricc Baby owes him and how Bricc Baby's not his friend. He's his worker. And, you know, it's really crazy how he can say that he's not Bricc Baby's friend. He was just his boss, but he was, you know, saying things like this to him.
There's my African-American. Get in here.
And so, yeah, so that's really concerning that he was talking like that, just as like a boss, nothing else. And so when you pay attention to this stuff, you start to understand why everyone in the world hates him and why he is so bad.
Do I have concerns about Bricc Baby returning to the platform? Yes, obviously. That would be kind of interesting, and I would wonder about the level of heat that it would draw to the building. Obviously, things like the gun that they saw in his waistline that I didn't see and that I don't think the comments saw, but that...
And so all of a sudden, the 16 has a problem with people carrying guns in his building, but he doesn't have a problem with Whack 3 Fingers doing it. Whack 3 Fingers attacks people with guns on him all the time over at No Jumper. There's video of it. Look at this.
Hey, listen. Hold on. What up? What's up?
And so when you see the clear and present danger that Whack 3 Fingers brings to the building, why would he be allowed in and Bricc Baby's not? They did the same thing. They had a gun in their waistband. What's the difference? You know, I think this all just really just goes back to the fact that I think Adam16 just thinks everyone that follows him is stupid and that they won't figure any of this out. They know. You can see the comment sections of Poetic Jala's defense video of the 16. You see the comments on the video itself. Everyone can agree. Everyone agrees that this was a despicable act by the 16 to turn his back like this and just say, we're going to sell some T-shirts and help him out with noodle money. That's a disgrace. And I would like to actually say that No Jumper is not going broke. What? There's nothing going broke about No Jumper or Adam16. He's just lying to everyone to make everyone think that he's going broke to justify this new membership program that he's putting on. He's even admitted this to Vlad TV that Lena the Slug is, his plastic surgery freak wife that does porn. She told him that she was annoyed at the fact that he was telling everyone he's broke because he's so rich. It just seems kind of sort of in bad faith. You know what I mean? It's just really despicable what this cuck has done.
I explained it in the video, but am I personally going broke? No. My girl's looking at me like, you really want people to think you're broke? And I'm like, well, I didn't say I was broke. I said that No Jumper was going broke.
So he's obviously intentionally deceptifying his language to trick people into feeling like he was broke. If he would, why wouldn't you clarify this in another video, a follow-up video, or in the video itself? Why wouldn't you just say, look, I don't want people to think we're actually going broke. I just think that we should be gaining more wealth each year than we are. He wants more money. He wants more. He just wants more money, guys. That's it. He's not anywhere. No Jumper is, he could stay in that building and he would make millions of dollars, but he wants more. And he wants each and every one of you to give him $5 a month to watch the same shit you've been watching the whole time. You can't make it up. You can't make something like that up. That's insane. And so that's pretty much what he said. And then this video evolves into, and this is no exaggeration, a very small portion of this video was really about Bricc Baby. The rest was about Sharp. What? He just starts reacting to Sharp talking about him while calling him a nobody. And I'm just like, is there no it's something that I can't even really explain myself.
We've got people like Sharp, who don't got a pot to piss in, who ain't done nothing for Bricc, who can't do anything for anybody because he's dead broke. He's coming out, making YouTube videos, doing streams where he's passing judgment. Play the Sharp clip.
Pretty much, if he is to get out, or, you know what I'm saying, even hits the streets, they don't want him on that podcast at all. They want him to resign from it, like, be done with it. The feds do not want him on No Jumper, no longer. I'm telling you facts. This isn't what I think. No, it's what I know.
So if this is true, this is the first and only source that I've heard from that has specified this in any way. Do I have concerns about Bricc Baby returning to the platform? Yes, obviously.
So Sharp Rob makes a video in Bricc Baby's best interest, I think, and he's saying, like, look, they don't want him going back on that platform, that No Jumper bullshit with that cuck. They don't want none of that. They want Bricc Baby to do what's right and the 16. This makes the 16's blood boil. It gets under his skin so bad. Apparently this nobody, according to the 16, is getting under his skin that he has to make a response video. This is cuckitude. He's cucked. What? He's being cucked by Sharp. If you could imagine.
Just totally fake. Sharp, again, basically a bum at this point. He's on the verge of homelessness. He's going to go back to Vegas and continue his sex trafficking career at the truck stops in Vegas. And apparently he's just trying to get one little tiny moment of clout by calling me out. His YouTube channel is in the fucking dirt. And so he's out here spreading misinformation about me. Sharp, use a hoe.
Sharp has said nothing but truths, and the 16 can't stand it. Sharp's really bothering the 16. And I'd like to say, if Sharp has no audience, if it doesn't matter what Sharp says, why do you need to make this video dedicated to him reacting to his channel to correct the narratives that he's spinning? I thought that he was a nobody with no motion. And he's making fun of Sharp's YouTube numbers and everything else like that. But his top employees are Lush and Dodson, who combined couldn't get 27 views on their YouTube channels. So, if we're making fun of YouTube channels, we might as well make fun of the No Jumper cast. And he also takes a shot at Sharp's pimpism, which he didn't have any problem with when Sharp worked for his company. He thought that was a great
Who
image.
you know,
It's
get
both.
that shit passed the fuck off on you. If your game is strong, less is more.
It's true.
Getting your pussy 5 times, you don't know where the fuck that man's mouth been.
What? You saying like,
Come on, you ain't do that.
what you say?
But now it's not a good image because he doesn't work for No Jumper anymore. And I want to point out that the 16 heavily recruits women into his porn world. The 16 describes his own wife as a sex worker. So, I mean, what is going on? Why is this? I don't understand.
How do you feel about that, and how do you feel about that? Because we are prepared to offer you $1 million.
I don't think anyone's offering me $1 million.
We will give you $1 million to leave him and come shoot for us / babysit.
Babysit? I can babysit, but I don't want to do.
Well, spoiler.
I don't.
Part is more important than the babysitter part. We could find almost any.
Wait, $1 million?
And I do want to say that I have a video up on Patreon where it's just a compilation of all the women that the 16 has paid to sleep with him on camera. And he asks these women if they enjoyed themselves, and they all basically said, fuck no. What? You're disgusting. You have a disgusting body. You look like Portnoy. You are... No, I'm obviously just... I mean, they didn't say as much, but they didn't say, oh, yeah, that was great. Yeah, no, I totally would have done that without getting paid, stuff like that. So the 16 is actually a John, a trick, a cuck, and he's criticizing Sharp for being in the same business field as him, I think. And this is all my opinion. This is all just for fun.
Why is it that he ain't received a paycheck? And motherfuckers is making money off of what he been doing, and I'm hearing that, you know, from reliable sources, his people, you know, done reached out about it, and, you know, they're not getting no feedback on it, no response. I mean, they did have a life before he went to jail, homie. Like I said, that's what happens at jobs. Like, he don't get his money, and missing out on some bands because he ain't there. Come on, brother, that ain't cool. You supposed to make sure that he got it. His baby mama or nobody like ain't received nothing. Like just even the money that he's owed legitimately for what, you know, the work that he's done. Cause I know he got a salary. Why ain't that man received his bread? Like what's going on?
Sharp is basically alleging that No Jumper has not paid Bricc the money that we owe him. Well, he obviously has absolutely no knowledge of this because I would easily, gladly open up our books.
He will gladly open up his... Okay, great. So I want to see No Jumper's revenue. I want to see the comparison to last year and the year before. I want to see all the books. If you're going to tell everyone that you're going broke and you need their money, you need $5 of their hard-earned money, I want you to show us the books. I want to know why you told everyone that No Jumper's going broke. I want to see the trend. I want to see what you mean by that. So you have 24 hours to do that, or you're a liar. How about that? And what the fuck do you think you're doing using Sharp's intellectual property to make a video for yourself? Didn't you tell Vlad TV that you guys are going to be suing people for this?
Who've used your content on Instagram or YouTube, and you flag stuff and get stuff taken down. And see, that's something I've been a little slower to adapt. But like I said, what would Vlad do? It's a little bit upsetting to you that people make whole little documentaries misrepresenting you and acting like you're this piece of shit, and they use your footage and it's fair use, so you can't really do a whole lot about it.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah? Okay.
We'll see.
There's got to be a way.
Yeah.
Sooner or later. For sure. I got people suing me. I'm going to start suing
That's
people.
what I'm saying. We get sued for shit.
Wow. So he wants to sue people for doing exactly what he's doing. And I just want to remind everyone that it is a matter of law. It's written into the law, the U.S. Code 17, U.S. Code Section 512F of the DMCA. It's a law. So we actually have the right to comment on especially fact-based content like interviews. This is information-based content. It's a matter of public concern. We have the right to comment on it and transform it into a whole separate piece of original content. I'm getting sick of these people.
That's fucking illegal.
And stupid, but mostly illegal. So let's talk law real quick. I promise it's not going to hurt. So fair use, let's look at it as this magical legal doctrine that allows creators to use otherwise copyrighted material without permission if it's for things like commentary, criticism, education, satire, or exposing snake oil salesmen who yell at you in the gym. So what Tower House, this company representing Cali Muscle, did was file multiple copyright takedowns against my clients, fully knowing that the contact was protected. That's called misrepresentation. Think of it like perjury, but with worse PR. They also then went and interfered with my clients' YouTube channels. Demonetizations, strikes, potential takedowns. Again, that's not just copyright abuse, that's tortious interference. And yes, it sounds fancy because it is, and very litigable. And I love litigable. Now, unfortunately for Tower House, what they were not planning was for me to get involved. So what do? We drafted a cease and desist letter that highlighted all the fuckery that they've been engaging in. I'll attach a copy of that here. You should see it here. And we actually happen to have footage of that being completed, so let's take a look at that now.
Just sign right here, and let me give you some paperwork for him, please.
So I just wanted to show that to you guys, all the YouTubers out there who got scared when Vlad said that he was going to start suing people on the grounds of copyright because he didn't like their opinions on him or whatever. It's fair use. I want all YouTube. If you are a YouTuber, you need to be following Dumb Down Law immediately. Hit subscribe on his channel right now. He is really helping us out. He's giving us empowering knowledge. And we're going to start fighting back. We're going to start punching back at these bullies. And it's going to be so beautiful. So please subscribe to Dumb Down Law immediately. I want him to have 100,000 subscribers fucking tomorrow. What? You understand? DMCA abuse stops now. So let's get back to this video. So the 16 is terribly upset at Sharp. And I'm wondering why.
Use a hoe commenting on real business because you've never ran a business. You're doing live streams for 200 people for 6 hours every night. I know this video is not about Sharp, but it's just so hard for me to hold my tongue when it comes to describing what a hoe-ass bitch Sharp is. Okay, let's just go back to the Bricc thing.
Okay, so this is actually misinformation. So this is direct hypocrisy. He's complaining about Sharp spreading misinformation while he's doing the same thing about Sharp. Sharp usually streams for about 800 people when he's not, and when it's not at like 2 in the morning. He's, you know, so Sharp's actually paying his rent off of YouTube, which is something that Lush and Dodson will never do. What? So can we make fun of Lush and Dodson for not having a real business and not streaming for anyone too, or is it just people that you don't like?
But I'm not turning my back on you by any means. We are going to be helping Bricc Baby out. And so show up to that live stream Friday. Hopefully we make it happen Friday. But yeah, Adam22, free Bricc, smack a like. We out.
So that's where he ends the video, and I can't help but think that the 16 deliberately ignored Bricc Baby, knowing that Bricc Baby would probably say something about it, giving the 16 an out, sort of an excuse to turn on him without looking like a total snake. Like, he owes me money and he did this. And I think that he you know, there's a good chance that he didn't ask for that money back because he wanted to constantly hold it over Bricc Baby's head in case something like this happens. Because $5,000 to the 16 is nothing. He gets that from like Fashion Nova for an ad read. The 16 makes millions and millions and millions of dollars a year, but he acts like he tells everyone that he's not making that much. And I think it's just really dishonest and despicable of him, okay? And I can't help but think that the 16's just waiting for Bricc Baby to crash out on him. He wants Bricc Baby to crash out on him so that he can leave him behind and start exploiting this guy Munchie B, who is a pretend blind person. And so with that being said, I will be keeping my eye on the situation and covering the story as it develops. But for now, that's going to do it. Thank you guys for subscribing. I'm sorry about the wait. I'm in the middle of a legal battle with this 60-year-old gossip queen named Star Troy Terrain. And something tells me that he's going to stop harassing me very soon. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one.